But the other side of it is if you violate your probation, I'm going to see all this history. Good morning. Are you Kelvin Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is 25 DCCR 1781. Mr. Johnson was previously in court, entered a plea of guilty to the state jail felony offense of theft of property with previous convictions. Entered pleas of true to prior convictions, making this a third-degree felony enhanced. The agreement was for a cap of 5 years in prison. I've received the pre-sentence report. Have you both had an opportunity to review that report?
We have, Your Honor.
Any additions or corrections?
Not from the defense.
Not from the state.
All right, Mr. Rojas, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Obviously, Judge, when you look at this PSI, what stands out is criminal history. It looks rather lengthy on paper. I'll point out to the court that most of the misdemeanors anyway are trespassing cases. And I would guess, and Mr. Johnson tells me this is the case, that most of those, because he was homeless, didn't have any place to go. And as the court knows, if you're homeless and don't have any place to live, you're going to probably pick up some trespassing cases. He does have 2 prior cases where he got probation and was revoked. I understand that's not a good track record when we're here asking for probation. I will point out that I think the most or the felony probation case was in 2000. And the one where he was revoked on the misdemeanor was in 2020. So a little bit of time has passed between those two. As far as this current case is concerned, if you look at his statements, he looks like he was stealing food and clothes, necessities. $72 worth, which would ordinarily be a misdemeanor, but for the fact that he already has the 2 prior theft cases, and the other felony case was bumped up to a 3rd degree. He's asking for probation, Judge. And again, the felony history anyway is from the last felony case is from 2003, it looks like 23 years ago. He tells me that prior to being arrested, he was working for a church, getting paid on a daily basis. I also did some work for a car dealership out in Silsbee. He tells me he can go back to both of those jobs. The car dealer, he doesn't have transportation, but the car dealership came and picked him up and brought him back and forth to work. So that shouldn't be a problem as long as that job is still there. According to PSI, he's going to be living with his mom. So we're asking the court to consider probation, a deferred probation term. If the court is not inclined to do probation, I would ask for the minimum term on this 2 years, given the fact that things he was stealing necessities and the length of time since his prior felony convictions.
Thank you, Mr. Rojas. Ms. Malfino?
Judge, I don't think he's necessarily not a candidate for probation. I think it should include safety. In my opinion, if the PSI reads as if he expressed interest in that, I would like to ask him if he really wants to take advantage of that. Otherwise, we're just going to be back here in a year on the same situation.
And I apologize. Mr. Johnson did want to speak to you, so whenever.
All right, go ahead, sir.
So the first charge I ever got, it was in 99. I did my time. I got out. I had a family. I lost it because me and my wife got into it when she took my kids from Louisiana. I not gave up, but I became homeless. I got all them trespasses. Then I started stealing food and clothes out the store. But being in the county for the months I've been in there, I see it was wrong. You know, one thing about me, I live and learn. But 2 things happened as I was doing what I was doing. I stole out the store and the police came up to me, which they didn't bring me to jail. He told me this one thing. He said, you didn't have to do this. They would have gave you the food. And then showed me instead of stealing, I could just ask. And then another time I was panhandling on College Street at the burrito place. And across the street was a car wash. And instead of me, and I looked and I thought about something. And I crossed the street and I started asking them to wash their cars. So what I'm getting at that is it's better to work than to be doing all that. You know, it's a different way that I'm going to go by doing things this time, you know.
How old are you?
45.
Yeah, time to start doing things
Yes,
different, huh?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anything else?
No, Judge.
So here's the thing, Mr. Johnson. If I give you an opportunity today, it's probably going to be the worst I could do today is give you 5 years in prison if I sent you to prison. You'd be out in 2 or 3 years and that'd be it. If you really want to change your life and you want probation, it's going to be for a longer period of time. And if you violate, the sentence could be for a longer period of time.
Yes, ma'am.
It's going to require safety so that you can have the tools to be successful, to not turn to alcohol and drugs and things like that. So I'm going to kind of leave it to you. If you really want that opportunity, I want you to take it. I'll give it to you today based on you've been very upfront. Your history is all clearly because of homelessness and drugs. I mean, that's clear. So if you want to change, I'll give you that opportunity. Is that what you want?
Well, probation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Johnson. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily previously. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, find you guilty of theft of property with previous convictions. Find those prior convictions that you pled true to, true. Sentence you to a term of 10 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections, but I'm going to suspend that. You'll be placed on probation for 10 years. You'll be ordered to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation.
Yes, ma'am.
That is going to include entering and successfully completing the SafeP program. So you'll go to the inpatient part of SafeP in custody, and then you'll get out, you'll have aftercare. All of that's going to help you find a place to live, get hopefully a job, stay clean, do everything you're supposed to. If you do everything you're supposed to, then for all practical purposes, your case here in court's over. You'll be able to serve that 10-year sentence while you're out on probation. But the other side of it is if you violate your probation, I'm going to see all this history. I'm going to wonder why I gave you this opportunity, and you're going to end up with that 10 years that I just gave you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed. So you have waived your right to appeal. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Rojas. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, fine.